All right, in this final video for Apple Classroom for the Mac, I want to show you one of the most interesting features here, which is the data and analytics for your Apple Classroom. So when you have a group of students and they're in your Apple Classroom and then the class period ends and they move on to the next class period or wherever they're going, you simply can end your Apple Classroom and then move on to the next class. If you have multiple Apple Classrooms, you just launch the next classroom, and as kids come in, they join that classroom automatically after you've invited them to join. That just happens day after day. But what I like is that you get data and analytics every time that you run an Apple Classroom and then end that Apple Classroom. So in this case here, I'm simply just going to click the three dots and I'm going to say end class. And this is what's so cool to see. You get to see app usage. So in this case, for the duration of this Apple Classroom that I had open, I can see that there were 14 different apps that were launched and open on all of my classroom devices for my students. So everything from Finder to a web browser to Maps to Messages to Outlook to Teams to Notes, the Photos app, QuickTime Player, Safari. And it even tells you how many students were in that app. So it'll tell me, hey, if I have Microsoft Teams I see on here, I can actually see one student. When I click on it, it will actually tell me the name of the student who was in that app and actually for how long they were in that app. In this case here, when I click on the Notes app, it shows me this student here was in this app for X amount of time. So I can see that. So it's just kind of some nice data to look at there, and you can see were there a bunch of apps that students were in that they probably shouldn't have been in during that student work time? And then also it will show you individual students down below. So it'll show you your entire class of kids. In this case, you can see this student right here was in 7 different apps within this Apple Classroom. This student was also within 7 apps. When I click on them, it kind of gives me a little different visual breakdown. So you can see this student right here was in the Finder for 24 minutes. They were in QuickTime for 3 minutes. They were in Google Chrome for 2, Notes, Safari, Outlook, and Teams. This student right here was in this selection of apps within that Apple Classroom being open and running for the teachers there. So data and analytics runs every single time that you actually end a classroom. So if you need this data right here saved, I would just simply suggest screenshot it and then you have it saved for future reference if you need to. And then when you're done, you simply just click done. And then when it's time to start a brand new classroom, just open up that classroom for either the next class period or for the next day of students.